Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Listen, if you're gearing up for competitive exams, the CAT, GMAT, GRE, or those tough bank exams, you already know that algebra can honestly feel like hitting a massive brick wall. But today, we're going to put aside the traditional boring textbooks for a minute. Instead, we're diving into the exact speed strategies, the hidden pattern recognition techniques that those top percentile scorers use to absolutely crush these tests. Okay, let's dive right into this roadmap. First up, we've got the 99th percentile secret. Then we'll cover spotting hidden patterns, followed by the art of avoiding work. After that, we'll hit some mental math accelerators, and finally wrap it all up with a three-phase strategy. All right, section 1, the 99th percentile secret. Time is everything. Let's be real for a second about the hard truths of competitive exams. It's not just about knowing the math. The clock is your real opponent here. Your solving speed is literally what dictates your percentile. 30. That number right there is the sheer impact of time management. While most students are out there sweating over a complex algebra problem for 3 agonizing minutes, the top scorers, they're using shortcuts, symmetry, and smart identities to slash that exact same question down to just 30 to 40 seconds. Think about the massive game-changing advantage that gives you over a 2-hour exam. So, the crucial point is this stark contrast in approaches. You've got a well-prepared student using the traditional approach. They might solve 10 questions. And hey, that's great. It might even get them to the 95th percentile. But then you have the student using the shortcut approach, applying the exact tricks we're covering today. They're solving 16 to 18 questions in that exact same time frame. That mathematically creates the gap. That is the literal difference between just being in the top 5% and standing at the absolute peak in the 99th percentile. Moving right along to section 2, spotting hidden patterns, the matrix of math. To actually cross that gap we just talked about, we have to stop seeing terrifying algebra and realize that these complex equations are mostly just basic identities in disguise. It's like a giant puzzle. Let's look at a perfect example. Imagine you see 103 multiplied by 97 on your test. The traditional way is long multiplication, right? Which eats up precious seconds and totally opens the door for silly arithmetic errors. But look at the shortcut. An exam topper instantly recognizes this as the difference of squares. It's just a plus b times a minus b. So 103 is 100 plus 3, and 97 is 100 minus 3. Suddenly, you're just squaring 100 to get 10,000, squaring 3 to get 9, and subtracting. 10,000 minus 9 is 9,991. You just unraveled a massive calculation in your head in what, 5 seconds? Okay, now let's look at this one. If x plus 1 over x equals 5, can you quickly find the value of x squared plus 1 over x squared? This right here is a notorious, scary-looking cat favorite problem. I'll pause for just a split second. Ask yourself, how would you go about solving for x here? Well, actually, scratch that, because if you tried to solve for x, you totally fell into the trap. The trick here is symmetry. You completely bypass the need to find x by leveraging a simple identity. The square of x plus 1 over x is simply x squared plus 1 over x squared plus 2. And you already know x plus 1 over x is 5, so just plug that right in. 5 squared is 25. So 25 equals our mystery value plus 2. Subtract the 2 and boom, the answer is 23. No complex quadratic equations, no messy fractions, just pure elegant pattern spotting. Let's hit section 3, the art of avoiding work. Don't solve it. And this brilliantly illustrates the most counterintuitive secret of all. Sometimes the absolute best way to solve an algebra problem is to just refuse to solve it entirely. Variable elimination is a perfect example. Say you're given x plus y equals 10 and x times y equals 21, and you need to find x squared plus y squared. Again, do not solve for x and y. Use the core identity. X squared plus y squared equals the square of x plus y minus 2xy. You know the sum is 10, so square it to get 100. You know the product is 21, so double it to get 42. 100 minus 42 is 58. You found the exact right answer without ever figuring out what the individual variables actually were. That is smart substitution, for sure. But what about when things get incredibly ugly, like 999 squared divided by 1001? Top-tier test takers won't even pick up their pen for this. They use extreme approximation. 999 is basically 1,000, right? 1001 is basically 1,000. So the whole thing roughly becomes 1,000 squared divided by 1,000, which is simply 1,000. This is an absolute game changer for option checking.
If only one multiple choice option is near 1,000, you hit it and move on while everyone else is stuck doing long division.
Similarly, you can avoid tons of work through hidden identity substitution. Take the fraction x squared plus 2x plus 1, all divided by x plus 1. Instead of doing painful polynomial division, you instantly recognize the numerator is just the expanded form of x plus 1 squared. When you substitute that in, one of the x plus 1 terms cancels out with the denominator, and the entire terrifying expression just magically becomes x plus 1. You bypass the whole painful process instantly. All right, Section 4, Mental Math Accelerators, speeding up the basics. To make these broader algebraic tricks really fly, your foundational arithmetic needs to be lightning fast. Let's say you need to square a number near 100, like 104. The cheat code works like this. Step 1, add the extra amount to the base. 104 is 4 over 100, so 104 plus 4 is 108. Step 2, multiply by the base of 100, so you literally just tack on 2 zeros to make it 10800. Step 3, add the square of that extra number. 4 squared is 16. Add 16 to 10800 and you get 10816. Boom! You just squared 104 in your head in about 3 seconds. Now, what's really interesting about this next one is the beautiful consistency of numbers ending in 5. If you need to square 35, you take the first digit, which is 3, and multiply it by the next whole number up, which is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. Then you literally just stick 25 on the end, 1225. And it works every single time. Look at 95 squared. Multiply the 9 by the next number up, 10, to get 90. Stick 25 on the end, and you get 9025. Super fast mental math like this frees up your brain power for the actual logic of the exam. And please promise me, you will never sit there manually dividing large numbers just to see if they're multiples of 9 or 11. Use divisibility smartness. A massive number is divisible by 9 if the sum of its digits is divisible by 9, period. For 11, it's slightly different. If the difference between the sum of the alternating digits is 0 or divisible by 11, then the whole number is. Using these rules isn't just a neat party trick, it's absolutely crucial for keeping your momentum going during a high-pressure exam. Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, the 3-phase strategy, mastery and mindset. I know we've covered a ton of ground, so how do you actually implement this into your study routine? Well, listen, top test takers don't memorize thousands of complex formulas. Instead, they master a really tight foundational set of just 20 to 30 core identities. The squares, the difference of squares, the cubes, and your basic variable substitution formulas. The whole shebang. They master these so deeply that they can spot them visually, upside down, hidden inside crazy fractions, literally anywhere. To get there yourself, you're going to follow an actionable roadmap to hit that mastery goal. Phase 1 is pure foundation. Master those core identities, factorization, and simplification. Drill them into your brain. Phase 2 is all about agility. Practice the approximation, substitution, and elimination tricks we talked about today. You want to start actively avoiding the traditional long-way solve. And finally, Phase 3 is execution. Dive headfirst into timed algebra drills and mixed quantitative sets. Your goal is to solve 500+ questions using only these smart techniques until it literally becomes second nature. Okay, if you take away absolutely nothing else from this entire explainer, let it be this piece of golden advice. See structure before solving. I know it sounds almost too simple, but this single skill changes absolutely everything about how you test. Don't rush to calculate. Pause, look at the shape of the equation, spot the hidden pattern, and let the structure do the heavy lifting for you. So what does this all mean for you? I leave you with this final provocative thought. Next time you sit down for a practice test, you've got a choice. Are you going to continue fearing equations and doing things the long, painful way? Or are you ready to embrace the hidden superpower of pattern recognition? The playbook is in your hands now. Go out there, trust the math, spot those patterns, and take your exam scores straight to the 99th percentile. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy studying.